Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope everyone is doing really well. I am Nabeeha. Usually, someone hosts these events. They're phenomenal, but he's out of town today, so I'm taking over temporarily. I hope you guys had some great conversations coming in. We're going to jump in, okay? So feel free to find somewhere to sit and chill out because we'll be doing a lot today. Okay, everybody, this is the Austin Startup Meetup for ATX ecosystem updates, networking, lightning pitches, and more. I'm Nabeeha. I am a UX designer and former founder of a friendship company to help women make friends in Houston. So I have worked at a handful of startups. The first startup I worked for was acquired this year, and I worked for other startups, including fully Stanford alum teams and everything like that. So very much love software, love designing it so it's usable, because usable software is the best software. So yeah. So this is Capital Factory. If this is your first time here, that's the building we're in. We're in the room called Voltron right now. If you want to get a membership to Capital Factory so you have access to the co-working space upstairs, you can do that with the membership link right there. If you're wanting to host an event for your own idea or topic of your choice, you can also ask to host your own event as well. And there's also a newsletter on the Capital Factory website, which you can sign up on that link. All of these links are also on the Capital Factory website, so yeah. Our sponsors today are Capital Factory, once again. FounderDash is Suman's company. He is the person who usually hosts this. It helps you plug in your startup idea and get out all this really, really rich and unique information, such as competitors, market analysis, go-to-market strategy, all using AI. So it's really amazing. I've used it myself and would highly recommend. And then JetBrains, of course, is the other sponsor. So today we had a little bit of networking at the beginning, and now we're going to talk about some updates, such as important deadlines and upcoming events, and then we'll go into lightning pitches, which is where anyone in the room can come up on stage and stand here for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and talk about what they're working on, what they're interested in getting help on, or what they're looking for. So yeah, and then afterwards we can have some more free networking, so you can go approach the people that spoke up on stage, go make new connections, exchange some LinkedIn's, and then we'll wrap up around 8:30, okay? So some upcoming deadlines. These are all incubators and accelerators. So on November 12th, Y Combinator's winter batch application deadline is due. November 20th, Techstars deadline is due. December 8th, Founder Institute Austin's early application deadline is due. And if you look at January 26th, that's when the final application deadline is due for Founder Institute Austin. December 15th is Founder Institute Houston application deadline. December 25th is Sputnik ATX, which is a local VC. And then rolling admissions for Austin Texas Technology Incubator, Capital Factory, John Brumley Texas Venture Labs. So yeah, feel free to take a photo. So if you're trying to level up your startup idea, these are your places to go. Upcoming events. Oh, I'm so sorry. If you guys still need to take photos. Upcoming events. Okay, November 12th. Oh, November 6th. Swiss Startup Night. Pitches and brisket. Yummy. Totally go to that if you want. November 11th, Austin Medical Device Meetup hosted by AB, who was just here a minute ago. I went last month. It was amazing. Met really cool people in the med tech space. November 14th is the Austin Small Business Expo. Also the 2024 Houston Innovation Awards. And then November 15th is the San Antonio Tech Day and Tech Fuel. And then November 20th, Turnup CPG Happy Hour. And November 22nd, Cup of Capital. Cool. So here are some more local resources. Finding applications on F6S and AngelList is the way to go. There's a lot of local accelerators. A lot of them I talked about There's many upcoming deadlines for a lot of those listed, and then lots of local VCs that you can contact and reach out to. They're also always at networking events locally, usually, and so here are some notable local VCs. People are taking photos, so. Okay, cool. Here are some more resources. Amazing. More photos. Okay, cool. So now we can talk about why we're actually here, which is to get help and also talk about ourselves. So is anyone in the room looking for help with anything on their platform or looking to hire someone in specific, has an open role? Is there anyone who's looking for some spreading their word about their product, anything like that? Yes, Julian.
Well, my name is Julian. I'll go on the stage. Screw it. Oh, thank you. My name is Julian. I host a monthly meetup that's this Thursday called Creatives in Tech Speed Networking. It's a speed networking event using our platform, the Meet Speed Networking app. How many of you guys have heard of these events before? All right, it's a good amount. All right, well, don't get too excited. All right, and then after the speed networking, we do a live pitch investor comedy show. We have several VCs come by and have people randomly come up and pitch their idea or their product, and you get real feedback from very, very fun, hilarious, slightly buzzed investors. Does that sound like a fun night to you guys? Come on, woo! Well, come out this Thursday. It's called Creatives in Tech Meetup on meetup.com, or look at the email blast from Capital Factory and you'll see it. And if you still can't find it, come find me. I have a QR code so you can RSVP for it. So, all right, guys, come out this Thursday, same room right here, 6 to 9 p.m. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Okay, anybody else want to shout out anything coming up? Yes.
I always get nervous talking into these microphones. Everybody hear me okay? Hear me okay? Okay. My name's Kevin Dietz. I have a startup called Open Squiggly. Open Squiggly is named after the left curly brace on the keyboard, which is something that developers type a lot. So we're focused on software developers. It's an internal developer portal. It's kind of a new up and coming space in software development. It combines platform. It's in the platform engineering space, which is, you know, a big up and coming area. It's kind of like the product I'm working on is kind of like if Confluence, SourceGraph, and Backstage had a menage a trois and had a baby out of that. I'm mostly looking for co-founders. It's just me right now. I'm looking for co-founders, technical co-founders, and other roles as well. I've got cards if anybody wants a card. That's it.
Phenomenal. Okay, anybody else?
How you guys doing? I'm not into tech. All the shit that you guys are talking about sounds like fucking science fiction. But I am going to be at this event, and I'm going to be roasting people who present their things. So you should show up. You know what I mean? It'll be based. It'll be cool. There'll be there's free alcohol, right? Free alcohol, baby. You get tore up, all that good shit. You know what I mean? So pull up and have fun. You know what I mean? That's it.
Hey everyone, my name is Emily. I have an ask. Is anybody here working with SQL or have to pull data sets? And yes, okay. We are prototyping a natural language but also visual SQL editor. So I would love to get it in front of a couple folks for some super quick feedback if they're down. So come find me if that is you. Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't know we were allowed to talk at this event. Anyways, my name is Sasha. I have studied computer science and business, worked at a lot of companies, and now in my free time with a bunch of friends, we're building a system that replaces the BDR, business development representatives. So it's basically a cold calling thing. We have a prototype that we have right now, it's running, and I have engineering, I have a business person who can sell, but what I need to have legal support. So if anybody knows how to actually officially start a company, I want to talk to you. And then if anybody is working with the salespeople, I would like to talk to them to kind of do a demo and see what they think.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening. My name is Samuel Wilson. I think there might be a fellow attorney. I'm a lawyer, so happy to talk to anyone about that. Not really why I'm here. I do a lot of corporate finance work, M&A, fundraising, working with CEOs, founders, and also some kind of family office investors on the buy side. About a year ago, I stumbled into developing my own software, not as a coder, but filling a need I had in my legal practice. I overhauled all my tech, my team. I sort of shifted out and spun off my practice group from a previous partnership when I was in. So I got to start from zero, which was like amazing because I got to rebuild everything. And the hole and the need that I had was really understanding the value of my time. So there's a lot of time tracking and task tracking, and there's some sort of connection to financial management, but I tried to like go in between all of those so that I'm tracking in real time how I'm doing financially towards goals, and it goes up and down depending on what I'm working on and who I'm working with. And so it turned into like a behavioral change. It wasn't even a software app. But so I have a proof of concept that I'm working with internally right now. I'm really looking to connect with people that have been in that inflection point of, is this an internal software that I sort of bake into what I'm doing, or are there commercial opportunities for this? I have started a couple companies. They're not in tech. They were in consumer products. I sold one beverage brand to a Fortune 500 company, so I've kind of been through the gamut, but I've never done it in tech before. So that's what I have. Happy to show people what I have, or kind of share and talk shop and get to meet anybody that's interested.
Now you can see me. Hi, I'm Steve. I am an attorney. I do intellectual property. So if you have inventions or if you have creative work that you've done, that's me. I don't wear a suit, as you can see. But I do know tech because that's where I got my start. So I work with a lot of inventors, startups, growing companies, that sort of thing. And I have a special product, which is what I call bite-sized legal advice. If you call and you set up an appointment, you ask me questions, and I can just plain answer them. You don't commit yourself for thousands of dollars of work, and you get an actual answer. What a surprise. Come see me if you have questions.
Hi, I'm Carson. I'm a student down the street at UT Austin, and I'm working on something in fintech. So it's the first time I've ever founded anything outside of like some nonprofit work I did. But the idea is that college students are super underbanked. They don't have access to credit and checking accounts. And so we're working with the bank right now, we'll offer some APYs on checking, and then we're going to give cash back on credit cards. And so the basic idea is that you can earn these points daily, so college students don't have to wait till the end of the month to get their rewards. And then they're going to be able to spend all those points that they earn at brands that they like. So we're able to actually amplify the APY, so we can give you 4% back, but then when we go to a brand and get a college discount for 50%, it ends up being 8% or 3% on your credit, and no one else can really do that. So I can give you guys more. I don't want to waste all your time up here, standing up here. So I'd love to talk to anyone. Like I said, I've never founded anything in tech before. I'm non-technical. I've just got it started. We've done some like consumer interviews and some brand interviews and worked with some brands, and I've got some letters of interest. But besides that, that's all I've done. So I'd love advice, love to talk to people. That's basically it. Thank you, guys.
Okay, really quickly, I think we're just going to probably open it up for pitches right now, so because that's kind of what we're doing. But really quickly, next meetup is December 2nd. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., same place, same time. You can do the same thing where you talk about what you're working on, etc. I'll come back to this slide at the end, but okay. So basically, pitches. This is pretty much what we're doing already. So come up, feel free to talk about what you're working on, share your wheres with the world, your rants and raves, pitch your idea, the startup you're working on, the app, the product, the service, and people can ask you some questions afterwards. So that's kind of what we're already doing, so I thought we'd just go ahead and transition into that. So if anybody would like to talk about their idea, or also if they're looking for a job, or if you're looking to hire someone, you can also come up and talk about that as well. So you were raising your hand. Yeah.
Hi, I am Lana Jones. I am a UX and product designer and a fan of the Austin Startup Scene. I do not have a 3-minute pitch, but we are in the discovery phase for a task management app for neurodivergence, and we are looking for people to interview. So if you identify with that or have an interest, feel free to come give me your contact information, and we would love to meet up with you. I don't think I'm fully ready for a pitch yet, but I'm definitely open to questions if anyone has one.
What's neurodivergence?
So neurodivergence is a wide spectrum that can encompass anything from autism, ADD, anxiety, PTSD, and maybe refer to dictionary definitions if you want more information on that. But I think it's pretty common these days as we're overwhelmed with all the social media and all of the pings that we get on our phone that we get less and less bandwidth to deal with the overwhelm of the constant responsibilities and requirements of living in this technical age. So I think more and more people are feeling the stretch of being included in a neurodivergent spectrum. I'm very passionate about this subject. I feel like I'm one of those people that I'm so overwhelmed by all the pings on my phone, all the media that we consumed, and I also work in the tech scene. So I feel that I'm so passionate about being productive and getting things done, having things well planned, that I want to help others. I want to live for my passion. And this is something that's always fascinated me. I've always been working on it kind of secretly on the side. So this is an opportunity to share that dream with others and hopefully develop something that can help others. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Would anybody else like to talk about their idea, what they're working on, and get a few questions? Yes.
I kind of gave a pitch already, but a short one. I just kind of tell like maybe a personal story and maybe it'll make sense. But it's basically a developer onboarding kind of story. You're a developer, you get hired at a company, and then typically, you know, it's all ticket based. They take something out of Jira and they go, "Here, Kevin, here's your first task. Work on this." And then you're like, "Okay, well, hey, you know, I noticed that this ticket's actually been in the backlog for like 6 years. What's up with that?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you know, nobody's been able to figure out how to do that ticket yet. We want you to do it." I'm like, "Well, who wrote this code to begin with?" "Oh, well, that was developed by a team in Vietnam that was disbanded about 6 years ago." "Oh, okay. Well, who took over that area code since the team in Vietnam was disbanded?" "Nobody. We need you to do it," right? Well, you're like, "Oh, you know, okay, I've been searching for through the repository, the main front end repository, and I don't see anything related to this thing." And they're like, "Oh yeah, that lives in a plugin repository somewhere." And you're like, "Okay, where's that at?" And they're like, "Well, we don't know." And so the point is that you end up doing all this kind of like, there's a lot of research that, you know, there's a lot of tracking things down research. You're trying to learn, you're trying to track down documentation, you're trying to track down source code. Stuff's in multiple repositories, it's all over the place. And nobody knows, you know, the knowledge is distributed all over the company, and yet your manager's looking to you to, you know, do this task and make sense out of it. And of course, you want to be a go-getter and all that, and tackle. And you need a tool to do this, is the point. And so that's what internal developer portals, platform engineering is kind of in this space. So, so I'm kind of repeating myself now, but I tried to personalize it, by like telling a personal story and showing kind of what the pain is like. So anybody who's a developer might be able to relate to that a little bit. But that's it. Any questions? Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Man, day before election, huh? Having me up here. Hello, my name is Kai. I've been fintech for about 9 years now. Recently started a new job doing software development. So part of what he was saying earlier makes so much sense. But however, we make sure that all of our engineers have a good documentation through other Jira tickets, everything else. So make sure when we hand it off to other supports, it's definitely spot on. But I'm pitching my idea today. I've been a Longhorns fan since 2012 when I went to UT. I've been a Pittsburgh Steelers fan since I came from China to this America, because I didn't know what football was, and no one in China played football. So when I came to Houston, my house is decorated and full of Steelers here. And so long story short, our family bond together not through Thanksgiving or not through Christmas or New Year's. It's through away games and home games. So each week of the whole year, we pick a family reunion from LA to Houston to Austin to Dallas to a random game somewhere. And the biggest disconnect between the fans are, how do you know where the Steelers fans are staying at or where the Longhorn fans are staying at? Be mindful, I have never missed a home game in 13 years. And I have been to a lot of away games. Well, the biggest thing I connect with people is through sports. I travel around the world. When I see a Steelers fan, I wave, I buy them a drink, I say hello. Same thing with Longhorn fans. When I go to Longhorn games, when I'm away games, I always say hello to Longhorn fans, right? It's how fans connect around the world. Now, what I'm building is a mixture of ESPN and Priceline. So imagine every time you book a hotel, you turn on sports mode, and you know exactly which fans are staying at which hotels. So let's say if I book Longhorns and they're playing Georgia Athens, right, next year. If the app tells you there's 45 Longhorn fans staying downtown Athens at this Hilton, what attracts other Longhorn fans to book the same hotel. And if you guys ever been to away games for NFL, well, there's little or no away presence, right? So Steelers versus Cincinnati, I went there, and there's no Steelers events anywhere. But if I can give data back to these away game marketing team, then they can set up Meet to the Fans or fundraise for St. Jude's or what they want to do, right? It connects what they call it home away from home experience. And furthermore, my old CEO, he's parents of Westlake High School. And so his kids played lacrosse throughout the season. And lacrosse season, it's like you travel to Dallas, travel to Houston, travel to San Antonio, travel everywhere. Well, the biggest thing is that they have a group text, right? And they're like, hey, where are you staying at? Where are you staying at? Where are you staying at? And this app allows parents, Sports Evolved, to create their own group app where they can connect through one integration to, okay, we're going to book Priceline here, we're going to book hotels.com here. But in the end, it will show all the parents where they're booked at so they can group together. In the end, it's a way for fans to connect, and a better way for teams to connect with fans. And I call that Stay with Fans. Thank you. Questions? No sports fans?
Wouldn't it be dangerous for the other team to know where these guys all are?
Yeah, so when you sign up your app, well, conceptually, you sign up your app, you have you can choose your favorite teams, right? You can obviously choose, but in the end, all the fans want to stay with their fan group. I don't know if you've been to Oklahoma and UT game in Dallas, and if you have UT fans there are like, let's say 5 of them, and the rest of them are OU fans, they all yell at you. It's not an environment you want to be at, but yes, that's true. But the app designed to connect fans with fans. And so hopefully, like I said, all the fans want to stay with each other. So that's the concept of the app. But that's the first iteration. And the second iteration is you can see where fans are going to the bars, to restaurants, so you can host events at these different bars. So you can see exactly where Steelers fans are going or where your teams are going, and so on and so on. But the reason I want to build this app is because I want to use it. I'm tired of being on Facebook, checking where everyone's staying at, where the forums are staying at, and so on and so on. And so this way, it's easier for people to connect through one application. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'm a Texas Exes, and as I see you aware, there's a book called 021, and I want to start a small focus group first, which is the Texas fans. And once I spread more, I'll attract more users, and that's why I partner with Priceline, Hotels.com, and the teams, and NFL, and DraftKings, so on and so on. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah, sure, just turn off the sports mode. So there's a sports mode on my application. You can book through regular hotels if you want with your friends. So it's designed to have a group by yourself or your friends. And in addition, there's a sports mode. So if you turn on sports mode, it will show you like the schedules and then like, where the fans are staying at. But you turn that off, it doesn't show that. So you don't have to book according to your plans. Yes, sir.
Are you going to be planning any of the events for the away fans? Or is that something that you're expecting them to sort of on their own? Or is that going to be part of the app experience too?
Definitely not within the marketing budget, but Longhorns have way more budget market than I do. So does the Steelers, so does the Penguins. So the concept is to give them the data, and they can host events there to attract more fans. And then fans can win tickets, or if they want to do like silent auctions, or if they want to do like, St. Jude fundraising or whatever. So it connects fans with more of a home away from home feeling. So we have some kind of home base with the away city. Yeah, so this app I just built a UX UI for it. I'm still attracting, angel investors. Technically, I don't need angel investors, to be honest, but more like Texas X alumni to help me talk to the head of Texas X's or talk to their professional teams or talk to, the marketing teams and so on to broadcast my app. So, yeah. Concept. Yes. Yeah, so the Priceline APIs are very limited unless you have a huge amount of users on board. So as of now, the first iteration is going to be sharing the link to the friends. And then so I don't know if you know about Hotels Tonight. Yeah, they built that entire application in 3 months, right? So, but the guy who built it has a direct integration and direct contract with the APIs. And then me being, first to entrance, I gotta get some users on board first. And when I have these users, and I can have the same model of Hotels Tonight, where I take a commission for every hotel's booked. And truth be told, I want I want Steelers to host more events at these cities, so I can just give away these data to these teams, because I want this to happen for not just the fans, but the team as well. Thank you for the questions.
Thank you. Amazing. Anybody else? Yes.
Sorry to the Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I'm a go Bengals. But long story short, has anyone here heard of Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah, familiar. Very nerd question to ask, but long story short, 30% of the queries that run through OpenAI every day are for role-playing fan fiction and poetry. And so essentially what we're trying to do is build a platform, a low-code, no-code game design and development platform for anyone that wants to become a game developer inspired by the rules and mechanics of Dungeons & Dragons as our kind of starting place. Right now, we have about 300 monthly active users, and we're looking to grow, raise our seed round, and go from there. We have an MVP. We're called words.ai with a Y instead of an O, so WYRDS.ai. And yeah, that's my pitch. Any questions? Right.
Can you repeat the stat of the searches on OpenAI? What was it?
Yeah, 30% of the queries or that run through OpenAI on a daily basis are for role-playing, fan fiction, and poetry. So that's actually the largest category by far. Yes. Yes. So we are a direct competitor to AI Dungeons. So we have a couple things that differentiate us. The two big differentiators are, number one, our one-click share system. So essentially you can go onto our application, no login, nothing required, click play, and you're able to access the game and run right with it. Or you can share it with your friends with as little as one click. AI Dungeon requires several clicks to log in, and there's no share capabilities. Yes. Gruntwork, Reddit, Twitter, Threads. So if you guys haven't been on Threads yet, would recommend. It's a great marketing tool. Get on there and just posting. So yeah. Thank you. So I see it as a kind of a two-pronged approach for monetization. The first would be the kind of traditional premium subscriptions that will allow you to have access to higher tools and content. And then the second thing is like the traditional arcade system. So ideally, we want to allow creators about 17 to 21%. There's been a 17 to 21% reduction in writing freelancing jobs. So we'd like to go out, find some influencers and content creators, allow them to monetize their content, turn it into a game, and let people pay for those premium experiences, and we'll take a cut of that. Sweet. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great evening.
Cool. Thank you. Dungeons and Dragons. Awesome. Okay. Anybody else would like to pitch their idea, is looking for work, looking to hire, yes.
Good evening, everybody. How's it going? So I drove in here from Connecticut and got in, last night? Yeah, yesterday afternoon. Crazy 2-day drive, 3-day drive, I guess. But yeah, so my ambition is, okay, I'm sorry. So let me start off. I got laid off. I'm one of the many, many people in the past year that got laid off from my job, and LinkedIn was not really helpful in terms of finding a job. It seems like there's a lot of coaches out there now, and like the only messages I was getting is just like, hey, let me coach you to get let me get you a job, let me help you do this, but give me $300 for it. And so I was like, you know what, let me go somewhere, like I'm in Connecticut, so there's not too much going on. There's things going on there, but I wanted to kind of like ramp up my career. I've been doing this I've been a software engineer for six years now, a lot of web development stuff, so I got a lot of web a lot of acumen of web development under my belt here, and I've done some startup work. I worked with the co-founder of chess.com. We were setting up a game website. Like this was a few years ago. It didn't take off or anything, but like I got to learn a lot of I got to learn about like the startup stuff and the web so it was like the year 2 of my career. I got to learn about the web stuff and learn about how startups work and everything too. So yeah, I am looking for work. I am ambitious, and I know a lot of stuff about the web, and I am open to understanding other languages. I know I've worked with Swift actually, so I understand some iOS development stuff, and I've done a lot of hobbyist stuff, with Go and a little Rust stuff, and some C, and I do some Twitch stuff. I just go on there and do some streaming, and right now I'm working on web components, actually. I think that's going to kill React. Yeah, I said it. And, I think because the problem with web components is that there's not a lot of recipes and people just don't understand it. But once you understand, like, it's just JavaScript and you can actually send it through the wire in a lazy manner, you can actually do things like kind of actually what Vercel is kind of doing in a sense. If you took something like, Open Whisk, the sort of open version of Vercel, and then use that to serve the different JavaScript files individually as like a, yeah. So I know a few things about web stuff and all that fun things. So if anyone needs to, wants to give me money to do something for you in that regard, not, yeah, we'll talk. Thank you.
Yay, web developer, worked with co-founder of chess.com. Sounds very hireable. Great. Anybody else? Yes.
Hey guys, my name is Logan. Sorry, I don't have a prepared pitch. I usually just thought this was a networking event. But I do have a startup I am working on. It's called Local Clubhouse. So who's been around Austin and seen a bunch of run clubs and almost been run over by them? Yeah, there's a bunch of activities, pickleball, there's a bunch of raves about these social interactions where people are like trying to get out and meet in person. So my pitch is to try move away from online, because I was burnt out from dating apps and online interactions. Everyone was COVID stuck, everyone gets the whole spiel. So post-COVID, and then now all these dating apps and everything, people trying to go meet in person. So Gen Z, for instance, recently, like within the last year, on a Forbes study, has like 87% have experienced dating app burnouts. So what my app is trying to do is try to create events like this, where you have local events by having Meetup combined with Discord. So basically, I've worked with a lot of one of the largest chess social groups. I know it's a little bit niche, but basically people love to meet in person. People have met a lot of partners in person, and people have developed real connections in person. So what my app and what my website plans to do is to connect people through creating the 4 pillars, what I think develops a successful club, a social club. So what a social club is, like a run club, a chess club, or any club you want, what you need is a club founder. You need members, and you need a sponsor, which is a location like this, and you need creators. You need photographers, videographers to build up and advertise about this club. So what my app plans to do is to have all that in one site and one location. By having all of this in one location, instead of organizing events through making our meetups and then going through Gmail to hit up this sponsor, this creator, getting the photography here, have it all in one place, have it all connected, have the event planning tool set up, and have everything organized in one place to see the success, and also connect with members more directly with club founders. So I'm currently been working as an engineer for the last 3 years as a process integration engineer, as well as a product manager, but this is something I'm working on, my passion project, and hopefully I'm just looking for people to fail fast. So people give me ideas, people bounce off me and be like, this is what you should be doing, this is why it's terrible, or whatever. So I'm open to anything, but yeah, that's my pitch. Oh, your question, sorry. So the biggest learning that I took from is event planning is hard. There's a lot of factors you have to incorporate it. There's a lot of things you will always forget in organizing large-scale events with 100 people. Either the photographer won't show up, the DJ won't have the right cord to connect. There'll be people, you need like security as well as just making sure everyone is happy and everyone's safe and everything. There's a lot of legal stuff. So through running all of that, one of the biggest issues is all those applications you have to use and organizing these people together. So that was one of the biggest challenges I faced in helping organize large-scale social events around Austin. And I just want to make that easier for my friends and myself. So, yeah. So we have a monthly event it's called Traveling Chess Club. If you guys want to follow on social media, it's about 110 people come on a monthly basis. What it is people play chess and people dress up. So it's kind of like a gala kind of thing. You dress up in a nice suit or you dress, come through, play chess, get some pictures done. It's all very demure, very cool. But they also have weekly events that's very popular. They do 3 events per week. We do one at Mozart's every Thursday, if you guys are ever interested. We do one on Wednesday, we change its location. And Tuesday, we do a Jack and Gingers. We have a free tournament. So one of the most fulfilling things is just seeing a community being built and real friendships. And I made a lot of my friends through just these random social events like run clubs and chess events as well. So, any other questions? So from my experience, both. So a lot of run clubs, if you can believe, are like run clubs are just basically run clubs disguised as social clubs. So you could meet friends, whatever your need is, but if you want to meet people with similar interests, a potential partner with similar interests that enjoys the same activities you enjoy, you usually meet there. So a lot of people do try interact and try find a partner as well in person because they got burnout from apps as well. So, yep. Cool. Well, thank you.
Great. Authentic in-person connection. Amazing. Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Konstantin. Maybe you know this DC character. I've been traveling for some time. I've been to 48 states for the last year and a half. And I've been recently to SF. And I was a little bit shocked how this beautiful and nice city has fallen into such kind of like place which is looking like now. And one of the reasons I would put a blame on is like rising inequality. There is a lot of nice high-tech companies, startups, and all this stuff, and they are very lucrative. But small businesses like brick and mortar business are not so effective, are not so good, are not so profitable. So this rises inequality between these two like groups of businesses, and this leads to the second group going out of the city or just like dying as a businesses, not like literally. So what I see and what I'm passionate about, I'm looking right now at Austin, and I really love this city. And I want to do everything I can to keep it like weird as it is right now. So not to give it any possibility to switch into being like SF with all this inequality. My first project on which I'm working right now is making a non-profit which will help small, mostly brick and mortar businesses and provide them with skills and tools you have here, like all these beautiful meetups, huge meetups, all the skills you have like time management, leadership, goal setting, and all the stuff you're using, all the software you are using right now. So this is my project number 1, and I would be very grateful for any help, any advice, or maybe help with fundraising. The second project I'm working right now, so now I'm the author of 4 books, and I'm thinking about writing my 5th book. So if you are a business owner and you have right now any challenges facing you right now, or you would be glad to share some challenges you overcame, so I would be very glad to talk to you because the theme of the book, well, I'm discovering the theme for the book right now, but it would be surely about the challenges which businesses have. Okay? Thank you. Any questions? Yeah. For non-profit, I'm thinking about making it for free for small businesses, or like for a donation. But like mostly, I was like preparing this non-profit to be like fundraising this all the amount of money you need and provide the help for the small businesses. this can be one of the possible like streams on which we can be working right now, like preparing these businesses like for an exit strategy. So we have like established frameworks for exit strategy in startups. We don't really have enough exit strategies in brick and mortar businesses. So we can like open source this net framework for them and help them implement it. Thank you. Yeah. No ideas for now. So it's like discovery phase right now, and yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, very quickly, if you parked in the parking garage as part of Capital Factory, if you go to Ethan, who looks like that, by the way, if he, yeah, he's right there. Come over here, come over here. Okay, yes. Okay, so he has parking passes, so you can only pay $8 instead of like $1 billion to get out of the parking garage. So please go to him to get your little parking validation, okay? Amazing, great. Would anybody else like to talk about their idea? Yes.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So this is not like a pitch. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my company. So I started my company 8 years ago because I started off being a marketing strategist for startups. I knew what startups needed to begin with to feel real and to be raise funded. So the 5 things startups needed was a website, a branding, a pitch deck, social media active, like all their socials, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, and a commercial or pictures or something related to video. And when we started doing this, I found out that the startups never had this kind of money that people charges to do these things in the US. So I don't know, maybe doing a branding here, like a true branding, not hiring your little cousin to do a branding, like a big company branding, it's over 15K, 20K, 30K, right? And a website usually goes from a landing page, like a super simple landing page, started from, I don't know, 8K, and it can go up to, I don't know, 60K or more, right? Whatever. I don't know what Uber's website was, but maybe it was very expensive. So in the last 8 years, of course, we needed to hire these people to start off. And I started to notice this weird process of creatives. So creative people, I'm a creative as well, I'm a designer. So yeah, it's me and every one of us. But I started noticing that creative people spend a lot of time just to think, like they wanted to wait for the ideas to come. So when we bought some of these services from them, I gathered them all and gave them to a group of engineers. So I told these engineers, so this product that people are giving me in 6 months for 20K, can you make it like affordable and can you make it faster? So they told me, yes, we can make all of this, all this presentation, all this brand book, all this thing that you want to offer, we can make it in over, I don't know, 6 days or something crazy. It was crazy. It didn't work, of course. But we show them this process to the creative people, and the creative people say, like, okay, there's no way it's going to work. So I hired creative people and I hired engineers. So I told them, you know what? You need to, the purpose of this company that I built is we need to make companies look like they've grown, like people invest in it, but we cannot spend 60K because no entrepreneur has 60K to invest with. So I built it Boogie Creative Studio. Boogie Creative Studio, it's a company that offers these 5 services to startups, and we do it with an engineer mindset. So we spend the less amount of money, the less amount of time, and we manage to create these websites like maybe Tesla's website or maybe very difficult websites in a short time and not super expensive. Yeah, because we made this process not super long. We didn't want people to just like spend 3 to 4 months or weeks just thinking of an idea and such. So we built this service so founders or startups can have their brand fully completed and then go out to the market, get raise funded and stuff, so they don't need to go with a super horrible presentation or a branding created by their cousin and stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't know if you guys have any questions. It's Boogie Creative Studio. You can find it online. No questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hey everyone, my name is Emily again. This is very kind of early concept, so apologies I don't have a pitch, so I'm gonna refer to my notes. But like I mentioned, we're building a better tool for SQL collaboration and creativity. So my background is in data science and analytics teams often, and data science teams rely on SQL to access and discover the data that's in their organization. And without data documentation, which often doesn't exist or is very incomplete, the best way to learn about the data in your organization is by looking at other people's SQL queries and discover what data you have at your disposal. So our product solves this by making SQL not only shareable, but also very easy to understand with AI-generated natural language explanations of what's happening in the complex SQL queries, but also a visual of the mechanics of the query, so you can easily understand what's happening in it. And you can also generate SQL from natural language or by editing it through the visual editor. So today, teams spend about 50% of their time finding and wrangling data in large organizations or organizations with a lot of data, and there's no natural sort of central hub for where you can find all of that. So this tool empowers them to find and leverage each other's work and build on top of each other's work, and empowers people to be more creative and collaborative in how they use their data. So yeah, that is what we are working on. Cool. Any questions? Yes. We plan to leverage metadata about what SQL queries are being run in the organization to get kind of a warm start. So we don't just have to rely on people submitting their own SQL queries. We can look for patterns. But as for the other tools, we don't have a specific plan yet for that level of detail, but definitely want to be able to leverage metadata to power this tool. Yeah. Any other questions? Yep. Yep. Very often the cleaning happens in SQL queries. I don't know if folks, in companies I've worked in, the source of truth queries for like revenue or MAUs will be like hundreds of lines long, and eventually someone creates an aggregate table to reflect that in a column that you can just easily select from. But very often I find that that cleaning is happening in the SQL queries. So this is an easy way for people to understand those nuances of their data by looking at those SQL queries and understanding them more easily. Yep. Any other questions? Okay, cool. We would love to, like I said, show people a prototype if anyone wants to have a look at it. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, everybody. Is there anyone else that would like to talk about what they're working on? They're looking for a job, looking to hire someone, looking for feedback, looking for anything? Yes, come, please.
Hey y'all, my name is Derek Oswalt. I am a co-owner of Oversea Agency,
oversee hosting and oversee CRM. We try and help startups and small businesses. So y'all all know that website hosting is expensive, building websites is expensive, CRM is expensive. The difference that we do is, we offer payment plans. So if a client cannot afford the actual cost of the website, we hold their domain for them until they can. And then once they actually pay it off, we release that domain. So say if they want a 5,000, 15, 20,000 website, we'll actually do that to where they can get what they need and then grow that company. Same thing with, so the hosting, the CRM, and the building, it depends on traffic. So your actual web traffic is what you pay for your hosting. So we offer $5 hosting with email, and then we offer $30 and $60. And then for the CRM, same thing. We offer for $50, $100, $250, and $500. But the idea is to give these smaller businesses really what they need to grow. The cost is expensive, and instead of someone having to actually take out a loan to do that or run a credit card, this allows them to actually get what they need and grow at their steady pace. Yeah, that's about it. Any questions?
Have you ever
Yeah.
had to hang on to someone's domain because they couldn't pay you?
Yes, I'm having to do that right now. And it's a little awkward, but it's just one of those things where in the contract it states it. And so it states in the contract, and once they sign it, it's very clear, very transparent. And then if they don't give us the money that's owed, we just hold their domain.
What happened if they use the website maybe for a year and then they sell everything they had and then they don't need the website anymore? And you gave them that service for free.
That's the part where the domain comes into play. So it's either holding on to a domain, holding on to something tangible that they'll need, such as their social media accounts, whatever it is. Think of it almost like giving a loan, right? Sometimes you can sign certain things over to get a loan. And so that's the idea, is what do these people have that we can actually get from them to ensure that they'll pay us and won't do the opposite, not pay us and then continue to use their services.
What's the average duration, approximately, of how long it takes people to get in the black with you? How long are you in a position where you are taking less money or a discount until that they're able to afford the service because their business has grown? How long does it take to do?
Oh, usually, say month, within a month, because we usually run in ads too. So the idea is build a website, right? They can pay a certain amount a month, say $500. And then once they keep paying that, we'll start running ads for them. So the idea is that they can run the hosting, right? And then we're running the ads for them. So we're already giving them revenue at the same time.
What types of businesses do this?
So we're doing feed stores, retail stores, medical. We have, 65 clients right now that are on the server. And the CRM has only 10 right now. And then the agency we've probably built over, the past couple of years. I don't have my numbers, but over 50 websites. And then all these websites are editable too by the clients. So it's all built on Elementor. And they can actually go in and edit the text or edit the photos, swap them out. It's really just the idea of all these small businesses are getting kind of screwed over by GoDaddy and all these other big companies. And so it's giving what they need in a way that they can go in and edit it. And what we found is most people want to edit their website, but when they find out they can't build it as professional as we can, they'll usually just use us and they'll go in and just change their text.
So how do you select your customers? Because you're like a bank, right? So you've got to determine if these are worthy. What's your filter for getting the right people in the door for the model that the chances are they're going to take off and stay with you?
Reading people. Born and raised in Texas, so I'm pretty good judge of character to a certain extent. And then it's just going through their references as well, looking at their tax returns, whatever we can, whatever we have to look at to actually see that they're legit and for real, and then going from there. But like I said, we haven't really been burnt yet so far. I know it'll happen sooner or later, but the idea is just to have something that's important to them. Yeah.
What differentiates you from like a buy now, pay later solution? Like, why can't someone just go to GoDaddy? Because you said an average payout is 1 month, right?
Yeah.
Buy now, pay later does 2 months or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Why can't someone just go to GoDaddy and then just pay
So if you've ever had to interact with GoDaddy, it's the same thing. You usually get someone that maybe might be hard to understand, or you're not getting that personal touch. So the difference in us is we actually go to these people, create relationships. So we meet with them every month or every week if they need to. So usually that first month and a half is we're meeting with them weekly to build that relationship. And then it's, hey, you can buy now, you can pay this off. But then after this, hey, let's start running some ads. Let's start running some social media. Let's do SEO. So it's really just kind of selling the website and then really selling the other services after that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm grabbing their domain. So usually they own the domain, right? And so that's what we tell them is like, hey, you have to actually transfer the domain over to us. So we hold the domain. And then after we build the website, they pay it off, then we release it. And if they don't want to do that, then it's, you've got to give me some sort of collateral. So just like anything, right? It's, I either need something, but we haven't had anyone not transfer the domain, if that makes sense. They usually want to do that over something else. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name's Adam El Coley. I just walked in here ad hocly. I found it on Google that there's a startup place like this. Very intrigued. I wanted to share what we've been working on for the past 2 years, give or take. So the company, it's called FitNation. We do have an LLC. We are live. It's pretty much 2 different tiers that are gonna warp or dovetail into one for profits. So for first, we sell a lot of merchandise. So we sell everything that you would want from a fitness component, whether it's yoga mats, foam rollers, hip bands, elastic bands. Instead of having one-off odd brand where you're searching and purchasing, we're one brand that manufactures all of them. We started within a year. We're ranked number 55, I think, for our foam rollers. We just started doing ads, and this is all within a year. Aside from that, that wasn't our main vision. Our main vision was to create something that was innovative and leveraged technology. So we all are familiar with things like Instagram and social media platforms. There's a lot of filler, there's a lot of fluff, and there's a lot of degeneracy on it. So fitness is a huge passion of mine and a huge passion of other people. There's 2 components to it. You have people that want to get involved in fitness, they don't really know where to start, or the inverse where they know where to start but they don't know how to get their content out there. So you have a lot of personal trainers or fitness enthusiasts who post stuff on Instagram for the exposure. It'll be like their arm videos, their chest videos, their workouts, nutrition, and then their kids, and then family, and then they'll tell their followers, hey, follow me on Instagram so you could figure out my videos. Well, our social media website is it's pretty much all the videos that you want, all the content you want, but filtered. So say hypothetically I'm a personal trainer Adam, I could upload my videos. If you're following me on the platform, first of all, you could message me, we could have group chats, you could favorite my videos, you could add it to your calendar, so you could end up scheduling it for future dates, weeks, months. We could have group chats, but then more importantly, you could filter based off of what category you want. We have things from weightlifting, calisthenics, Pilates, nutrition, and everything in between that's fitness related. The app is currently free as well. The concept that we're trying to do is we just started rolling ads to the public. So we're getting over 100 ads a day on like a $15 budget, which is pretty crazy. It's all self-funded, so we have no debt. We're gonna keep expanding. What we wanna do is gain our general user base. Once we gain our general user base, we're gonna have ads within the app, similar to how Instagram makes money, where every 10 videos or so, you'll get a random ad. That'll be some of our revenue. Our products are also making us profitable. And then the next step is going to be, as a personal trainer, you can make content either private or public. So now, hypothetically, I'm personal trainer Adam. I have my video. I have my subscribers. Maybe I want to do teasers for free. They're short videos, no cost. Then I have an hour video. If you want to see this, it's my private content. I, Adam, as the personal trainer, set the price. It could be $5 a month to all my premium content, $10, $3. And then FitNation as a whole, they would end up taking a percentage from that. Ideally, it should end up making all of the fitness enthusiasts our own marketing brand ambassadors. Because what they want to do, I'm personal trainer Adam, hey, you're my client in person. Hey, you're on my Instagram feed. Follow me on FitNation. It's all filtered. You could see things that you want. You could put it on your calendar. We could have group messages, and it's free. So they gain clients. They're bringing them to our app. It should be multiplying, and that's our business model. Once again, I apologize if this is not the right forum for an app like this. I just saw something start up. I think it's relevant, but that concludes my speech. Any questions? Yeah. Yep. So to an extent, it's similar to yes and no. So it's similar to OnlyFans, where OnlyFans you have private content and public content, where you could have two different tiers, right? But it's also Linktree. So it's similar to Linktree, how on your Fitizen card. So how the company's called FitNation. We call all of our trainers Fitizens. It's like Fit Citizens. So how it works is you could also have all your personal content. So you could have your Instagram, your TikTok, your own personal website there as well. Yes and no. I want to say it's more than that. However, I would not know because I don't have an OnlyFans account. So I don't know the functionality ins and outs, like how good it is. I just know high level you have public and private content. In regards to the subscription model, yes. But for everybody, it will always be free. If you're a regular fitness enthusiast, if you want to follow people, it's free. If you want to view videos, it's free. If you want to message people, it's free. So there's no barrier to entry. If you want to be a trainer and upload content, it's free. So, yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
So how does your platform differ from something like a school or a law, where people can just generate their own platforms, creators can go up there, have different levels of tiers, create their videos, hide them behind a paywall, people can come in, get that specific community, and then they're only seeing content from that specific creator that they want to see.
So you said schools, like if I hypothetically had my own personal website, is that what you're referencing?
Yeah, have you been on school or not for
Nope, but I understand the concept, I think. So let's say hypothetically I have my own website, adampersonaltrainer.com, right? I understand I can make my own tiers and stuff. The thing about FitNation is I could plug my own personal website on there as well. So maybe it's a teaser. Understand that if you have your own business, right, like a personal trainer, you want to be in an environment where your target audience is there. You want to advertise there. That's like similar to saying if you have your own school, what's the point of having an Instagram account to leverage stuff or a TikTok? It's just more avenues of approach. So, and we don't mind, right? Because either way we win as a company. If you have your own school and if you're your own trainer, you want to have your own website, that's fine. You want to leverage, you want to advertise your school. Hey, this is just a preview for better content. Come on my website. That's totally fine. Either way we win, either way you guys win. No cost to us. Yep, so So for the app live itself, we just started launching ads last month. So we've been developing it behind the scenes for 2 years. We're doing more than 100 downloads a day on a $15 budget, which is nothing. The reason why our budget's so small is because we're constantly doing patches. So right now, we have videos. We have a lot of the fundamentals down. We're in progress of doing some UI aesthetic updates. We're doing playlist updates. We're going to do the monetization tier, which we talked about. What else? We're going to have group webcam features. So every time we have a new milestone, I'm going to keep expanding the advertising budget. Because what I don't want to happen is we have a lot of ads and then we don't have the features to retain the users. So to answer your question briefly, we just started last month. We have about 100 downloads a day. On our Instagram, I think we're at 6,000 followers. We started it within a year. We post content very frequently. We're getting over 15 sales a day from our Amazon store, but that adds up. That's pretty good. We are profitable. When we plan on expanding our advertising budget is probably when our playlist functionality gets rolled out, which should be within a month. Because right now we're currently advertising to end users, so it's like the typical Joe Schmo who's trying to follow a trainer. Once we get the playlist functionality, we're going to switch our advertising market to the personal trainers, because our thought process is the personal trainers and fitness enthusiasts are going to be the ones that are uploading the actual content, and they're going to end up telling other people to come. Thank you. Any other questions? Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Why so serious? I'm just calming my own nerves over here. I'm Sakshi. I've been in Austin for about 2.5 years. I moved from India. Excellent meetup. A lot of tech folks over here. And I know for a fact one thing that you all enjoy doing is writing documents. So at any point of time, however, I provide services in documentation front, functional documents like your BRDs, business requirement documents, your sales decks, and so on and so forth. So if one of those days when you're very busy and you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing this thing that I really enjoy, think about me. I'll be right here. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, I think we maybe have time for like 2 or 3 more, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up so you guys can actually like talk to each other and meet each other.
Thank you. My name's Casey Rivers, and I wasn't going to do this. In fact, I just found out about this meetup as well. But you guys have been great in sharing your stories, and it's pretty inspiring. So I am starting out. I am a owner of a small winery here in town, and I have been in the data world in the past, worked in a large corporate environment, and so always been driven by data. Obviously, data-driven analysis, things like that. When I came into the to the small beverage producer world, I realized that a lot of people don't do that. The people in the beverage industry that do that have teams and teams of people that are doing it. As the winery grew, and it just became very. It was just like no duh. Once you get to this size, you have to go to the industry standard data collection, integration, and report writing tool, and it costs a lot of money. It looks like it was built on MS-DOS in the 1980s, and they haven't really updated the user interface. You have to learn to be a system admin for their tool. You have to learn how to write the reports. And then, regardless if you're analytical or not, you need to learn how to analyze the data, connect the dots, just so you can talk to your sales team about what moves are you going to make to actually drive increased growth. And what I found out is that when you go and hire salespeople, they want to go meet people. They want to talk to bar managers. They want to talk to grocery store managers. They want to go out and sell their products. And I was forcing them to become data analysts and report writers. And you know, they're now sitting in 5-6 hours of online webinars, learning tutorials on how to use the software. And so I thought there has to be a better way. So they say probably not the best reason to start a business out of spite. I just got so tired of using the industry standard that for what you pay, for what you get, it was just not good enough for me. So I enrolled my buddy from 100 years ago, who has been in data science and been in business intelligence for the last 25 years. And I said, can we do something different? So we are starting a company, and it is very niche focused for now, but it is focused on the beverage analytics space. And what we're trying to do is all of the analysis that gets done, and in my mind, I'm trying to oversimplify it, but it's not that complex of a data set. It's not that complex of reports that need to be written. I don't know why the people who are industry standards don't say, oh, you're new to the industry, you're of this size, here's the 18 reports you need, and here's what they mean. They treat every customer like they're 100% different, like everybody's going to want to build their own different reports, and they don't help out. So what we're going to do is let business owners, let sales managers, sales directors, distribution managers do what they want to do, which is grow their business. So we're going to develop the 100 reports or the 50 reports that you need. We're going to build that inside of the system. We'll call it an analyst in a box, or a smart system that basically will just show you the insights of your data, where you're up, where your strengths are, but where you're down, and some things that you should be watching for in the future to take action now, so that you don't have to end up needing some immediate action or find out that some of your high-profile customers have fallen off a cliff whenever you weren't watching. So in addition to that, for some reason, people still love Excel. I don't know that anyone's ever going to be able to kill Excel. We will still be able to give data in a format where people can go and prove it to themselves. So here's your insights. Here, 18 of your top 50 customers are down by this much, and it's based on these brands. So I recommend, we're going to give them recommended actions to go and do that. So that's what we're trying to do. The reason that I decided to stand up here is because we've got some ideas about how to do some things that I have no idea if they're possible or not. What I have been playing with a lot is some generative AI. I think generative AI is pretty good at reading text. They're pretty good with unstructured data. When you feed it data, sales data, depletion data, scan data, things like that, I'm not saying they hallucinate more than with just unstructured data, but you wouldn't necessarily trust all of the analysis that you're going to do. That said, I do want to use large language models. And so what we're doing right now is building all of the data analytics, all the algorithms, and going to be using some machine learning to basically put together all of the insights and structure it in a way that then we can feed that to the LLM to help get better recommended actions and to help kind of move that in that direction. So the reason that I'm up here is in case anyone's interested in beverage analytics, but also how to take data, which I think is more around machine learning and more around algorithm and analysis, and how to put that in a format to feed it to an LLM so that we can, I do believe there's a great benefit in using AI and LLM models. So I definitely want to incorporate that in there. So that's kind of the ask at this point. We're very new. We will have an MVP within probably 3 months, and we're just kind of gone from prototyping to now starting to actually build the MVP app now. Yes. I've got some booze. Yeah.
That's cool though. I mean, so you found kind of like a Moneyball, like a really interesting Moneyball situation where you can't really compete against the big beverage companies, right? And the things that are available for the small to medium-sized companies is significant. So that's
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about leveling the playing field, and it's about. My son asked me, "Are you going to be displacing workers?" And I said, "Well, yes and no. I'm going to let Bob, the sales guy, go back and do sales, instead of Bob, the sales guy, came in thinking he's going to be a sales guy. Next thing you know, he's a data analyst, right?" But we are starting to target with small and medium-sized breweries, wineries, and distilleries. And I think it's going to have tremendous value for distributors, and it will have tremendous value for larger companies. Those are longer sales cycles. Those are a little bit bigger nuts to crack, and probably want more functionality than we're going to be able to build in the short amount of time. So yeah, what we're building right now. So there'll be a data ingestion. So the thing is, the incumbent can basically say, because they have so much of the market share, me as a winery owner, I can just go to my distributor and say, "Hey, I've signed up for X data integrator. They're going to be calling you." They send them. "I want the files in this format, put on this FTP site," all of these things, and they kind of have the ability and the leverage to do that. We don't have that yet. So we're kind of going to have to figure out what data that we can get from the distributors, what data that we can get from, we can also bring in scan data from Nielsen and IRI and start looking at those kind of things as well. But as we bring that data in, back to the integration, we'll bring it in, we'll ingest it, we'll do some normalization and some cleanup of that data so that then we don't have to continually tweak the algorithms based on the different data sets that we get. I have. If I had it today, I could sell it to at least 10 breweries that I know right now. So I've got a real advantage in that I have real sales data. So we're using my company's data in there to train the system and to go out and build and to make sure. I was able to build out the
the proof of concept in Google Sheets, and then as we're building the system and it's putting its output, I can just check it against what I would have done as an analyst anyway, right? So that's a good starting point. And then I've been around in the business for a little while now, so I've got a lot of friends, and a lot of people have said if you can get me off of the current system, then I'll be happy to join up. Yeah. Other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. The data you're talking about is this retailer sales data, basically units that are moving in what days and sort of order cycles on the retail level. That is the core data set that you're starting with?
No, so the core data set is what you call depletion data. So in the three-tier system, you've got the manufacturer, the supplier, you've got the distributor, and you've got the retailer. So when I sell it to a distributor, it's basically my sale. When the distributor sells it to H-E-B or Total Wine or whatever, that's called a depletion. Oh, okay, you're in the beverage business. So we're talking about, first and foremost, depletion data. Then we'll bring in, and that's what we're building mostly as an MVP, is that. But then we've been talking with, Nielsen, which is NIQ now, and folks that support IRI data, and then that'll be other data that we'll bring in. And then the final piece is that you want to bring in is your sales execution data. So whether you're using Repsly or LilyPad or Karma, whatever, you can bring that data in. So now you're saying, the depletion data and the sales data tell you where you're trending. You're up here, you're down here. Okay, so is it a brand problem, or is it a chain problem, or is all your on-premise good, or all of your on-premise bad? And then you need that other data to figure out why. So you can bring some retail data in, and you can say, well, you're down over here, but overall the whole category of that, or that whole flavor profile is down. So that might be kind of adding to the why. But really on your depletions, that's kind of the what, right? And so we want to get that, what are you doing, how are you doing in terms of growth up or down, and then the why. So when you bring in that sales rep data, which is a CRM system for field reps, they track your account visits and your contacts. And so maybe you're down in these 5 accounts in this geography, but that's because Bob hasn't been over there to see those accounts in 30 days or what have you. So it's really just to give. And again, you can target the sales reps on here's what you should be doing, here's the key accounts you should be seeing immediately. These are ones you should be watching. But you could be the sales manager, and you could help guide that team. There might be some strategic things that you can do. I'm going to be bringing in the inventory data from the distributor, and maybe you're down last month because you ran out of stock for 4 weeks or something like that. So you can use it to then manage your production team. We can obviously do things like later, which is bring in and do some advanced forecasting for production planning and things like that as well.
What's your competition in the space look like? Are CRMs not already trying to bring in and integrate this data?
No. The incumbent has great data. That's not the point. Is not how much data they have. It's they basically say, here's your data, and here's some tools that you need to learn to go do it. Oh, and by the way, you need to learn to be an analyst as well. So it has created a job category, which is beverage analyst, right? They're very expensive. Small, medium-sized breweries, distilleries, wineries, they can't afford it. So what we're trying to do is level that playing field to be able to do that. And my hypothesis is that people who get into beverage sales don't want to do that, and that's what we're doing. We're going to let us do the heavy lifting. You get back to doing what you want to do. And whether you're a business owner, there's a lot of times craft breweries or small wineries, they come from people who were in tech, and so they naturally gravitate to what they used to do, which is what I did when I got there, which is have my buddy build me a sales analysis tool, because my sales analysis tool in the software that I was using wasn't giving me what I wanted to. So it's not about getting more data, it's just using the data to drive insights to give people action. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to pitch. So hi, I'm Nabeeha. I am born and raised Austinite. I just graduated from Rice University in Houston, and I've worked at 4 startups now, including one of which was my own. Like I mentioned, the first startup I worked for was a 2-sided marketplace that was acquired this year. And that was a startup that made me really fall in love with user experience and product design. Because the best products are the ones that are invisible. And hear me out. Have you ever used a really, really good app and been like, oh, I'm going to remember what this feels like? No, because the user flow was so perfect that there was nothing that got in your way. But when you use an irritating app, it is very visible, and it is very much an obstacle, and you will remember that dissatisfying experience. So my whole thing is I like to help people make websites and apps that are pleasant to use, because pleasant apps do not get in your way, to help users accomplish their goals fairly quickly so that you can make money as a business fairly quickly. So that's kind of what I do. I'm a UX designer. I've also worked for a med tech company that was a SaaS company where my boss was an orthopedic surgeon. I'd walk into work every day and I'd be like, is this guy gonna smile at me today? I have no idea. So I worked there where I was the only designer on the team, helping them make an in-house surgery scheduling platform that medical offices can use to make operating room timing so much better, because these surgeons work on really, really tight schedules, and operating rooms are super booked. And then I also worked for a company called Marriage Pact, which was a company out of Stanford to help people find their optimal backup plan, marriage backup plan in a room. So now they have this product called Matchbox. You might have seen them on social media. They're kind of viral, but they license out their software so people can host parties and run this algorithm at their events to help people meet their optimal backup plan. And then I had my own thing for a little bit where I started a class project as an entrepreneurship minor and a capstone class, because what's the point of learning about entrepreneurship if you never apply it yourself? So I did, and I ended up hosting about 25 events around Houston to help women make friends. We had about 400 people come out and made almost $11,000 just off of Google Sheets and Gmail. And that really showed me the power of shipping fast and validating really early and rapid iteration. And so if you are looking for anyone to join your team who's pretty hungry to help you make money sooner rather than later, make prototypes, not just prototypes, but before you even get to the prototype, how can we test the minimum viable product possible to see if your product is even worth investing money and engineering into? Because we literally just use Google Sheets, Gmail, and a little automation software, and that was it. And so very low cost to validate this idea that I had. And so yeah, that's what I'm working on. Please let me know if you're interested in any of my freelance services. I'm very happy to chat. This is what I look like, by the way. So yeah, thank you so much. I think you have time for one more, and if not, okay, thank you.
So first I'm just going to ask you, did anybody park in Capital Factory parking? Nobody, everybody did street parking? I just want to make sure because it's like $32 an hour or something. Okay. So I made a website called visiontaglive.com. It turns your phone into a laser tag gun, basically. You point, instead of aiming with like a sight, you aim with your camera, and you can play with a friend. So you go to the website, join the lobby, and you just point it at your friend, and you can play basically laser tag. I don't know if that makes sense. Can you raise your hand if that makes sense? Okay, gotcha. People get it. Okay, cool. I don't know how fun it is, or if it's fun, or if there would be interest from the public in this. So if you know anyone or want to try it yourself, please come talk to me. It's visiontaglive.com. It's actually not live right now, but I can start the server up in 2 seconds. So yeah, come to me if you know like a niece or a nephew, or or if you want to try it. Yeah, thank you. Questions? No flash, no. It does. Yeah. So technically, you could shoot your own hand. It uses computer vision, and it's not checking to see if it's the other person, so it's easy to cheat. But if you play it with the intention of not cheating, it just does computer vision. It tries to see if there's a person in the center of the picture you took, and if there is, then that's a hit, and it will modify the healths accordingly. All right, thank you.
Amazing. Vision tag not live. So, we are ready for some networking. I wanted to make one more announcement really quickly, which is Monday, December 2nd is the next event. So please come out if you can. I think this community is so cool. Like, what other event can you go to where you hear like 30 people talk at the front of the room about their ideas in one night and you get to give feedback on it? It's pretty awesome. So yeah, feel free to socialize freely now. Thank you.
It's an interesting game. Like I said, there's some angles to it where it can be extremely fast and lucrative, and then there's some ways to do it where you bump into a lot and there's a lot you can do it, no matter how keen you are to solve certain problems. You have to nail it. You have to. I used to equate the beverage business to having these huge tectonic plates that spin around like once a year, and there's only one hole in the plate, and you have to wait and wait and wait and wait, and when they all line up, you punch it. And if you do that, it works, and if you don't, then you got to wait and wait and wait. But drop me a line. So you're in the beverage space too? I had a beverage company. I sold it a couple of years ago. But I was the CEO and CFO of a beverage brand. I sort of took it over for an investor company. And the first product was called Happy Juice, and the second product was called Jasmine's Juice Bar Cocktails. And Jasmine's went for about 2.5 years. Nice. And we were ready to be done. So we sort of got our ass handed to us in the first one. I think we got 13 or 14 states on it. Not knowing what we were doing. We said we got distributors from both networks. And that fucked us at the end because we had boycotts from all the Budweiser guys, and they sort of launched them. I could go. But then we found a hole in the other side, and we pivoted products, and so we had not signed over the IP rights to those previous distributors. Changed the name and the formulation and said, well, we're back free and clear. If you don't want it, we kind of gave us first option. And then I got in touch with the executive board of Constellation, sort of brand new, very aggressive, husky kind of got in his face. Look, I got something here. I had to target the hole because I knew. And I was like, if you want to get in now, then we should do something. Because soon I'm going to sign up all these fucking contracts. I'm going to call you back and you can't do it. And it worked. But so they bought in, and then they ended up taking it. I'd love to hear about it. But it's a fun ride. It's cool. But I'm happy to. All right, Samuel. What's your name? Samuel. Nice to meet you. From Austin? Yeah, I'm with your ear. Oh, nice. Yeah. You on LinkedIn or anything? Yeah. Let me give you my phone. What kind of law do you do? Corporate law, M&A. This is my crowd in some ways. Well, some people. Nice. Fair enough. I mean, look, it's a fun ride, but you got to get it right. Figure out what it is. I've done it a few times. Nice to meet you. What was your name again? Casey Palmer. Yeah, nice to meet you. Dude, I just wanted to come chat. I'm in beverage data analytics myself. Yeah, on the sustainability side. Well, I founded a company called Climate Now, and we basically taken a piece of software and made
Great community built up, and he's been here for 3 years. East Street, so I went to his opening. Yeah, a lot of fun, man. So yeah, I'm just trying to get in where I fit in.